if somebody asks me where do your traumas come from, and the simplest answer that incorporates everything is I live among the Homo communia, right? I share the same DNA. They're everywhere. It's like a weed. It's like an invasive species on Sol 3, the third planet from the sun. Is I live among the Homo communia after I've done the work to self-actualize and go through the maturation process for a Homo sapien male. Um, Now, that's offensive to a lot of people, but it's measurable to see that the levels of sentience and sapience that I've achieved in walking the talk has not just made me feel alienated, but made the norm feel alienated from me. It's measurable. So I wonder if Matt Galloway would ever have the courage to take on this topic I'm going to tell you about. It's simple, but it would turn his proto-society viewers' minds upside down. So there's a recruiter I decided to go online where she was talking about jobs in one of the northern communities of Canada, and I said, "Oh, sorry, I'm late. It's just that I had issues logging on based on having to give information to foreign actors just to sign on. It's that ridiculous. And if you talk about it, nobody talks about it back." But anyways, I said I have a trigger where I hope you're not going to use the term unqualified teacher, because that's very offensive, and I go by measurable results with the learners. So, I would find a lot of certified teachers unqualified based on their inability to do what I do. And part of the reasons I can have this success and empower the learners is I have different training than they have. Training that should be part of what is given to them in professional development days, and I can't seem to get any school district. And a big part of this is student unions, teachers unions, that make it that they teach themselves, and it's less and less real quality professional development. So for me, it's insulting, and for me, less and less people actually want to read. They're curious. Oh, what is a learning specialist? And then I say, well, email me. And ask for that, and I'll send it back to you. And they never do. They never really want to go that far into the conversation of what a learning specialist is. And I said, oh, the title of my attachment for learning specialist says Martin guarantees these behaviors will be observable in who I am as a learning specialist. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can. I think that the teachers unions would defend teachers who are insecure about, let's say, being videotaped as they work, right? Just to see how qualified they are. So for years now, I've been reporting, including to CBC, that if they want to hear it, that I take offense to people saying the word life skills inappropriately. It's not the right thing they're talking about. Most of the time they're talking about living skills, and they're using the term life skills for everything almost, including the category of living skills. Now, of course, I don't belong to a life skills coach union, right? And I'd have to start my own international polymath union to be part of, and say, oh, no, if you're going to hire me, I'm not with the BCGU. I already have my union, and my union is very strict. You can't be in more than one unit at a time. I have to defend my rights as a highly skilled professional and just stick with this union, which I would have had to create because we don't have evolved, developed cultures, right? Just a minute. Come here. And so for me, a life skills instructor is, you see a lot of people that are certified teachers, and that even though you tell them, oh no, this is life skills, go see this information, go see even this video I recorded that explains it to you, the difference between when to use these terms. And they won't, because they're not lifelong learners, right? So they wouldn't be measured as being learning specialists either, who can role model the concept of learning. So it's been offensive. It's been discouraging because it shows how certified teachers, CBC hosts, everybody else that I've challenged on this, it shows that they're going to stick to business as usual and be the norm that helps to devolve the human condition. Now here in Prince Rupert, yesterday one lady said, oh no, our badminton instructor will do that schedule Friday night as well. Now, that badminton instructor, and that's their term, I've never seen him coach. He's got such a toxic way with people, avoids conflict in the way that he attacks the concept of having a discussion about something. And of course, his response is often, "Hey, we're just here to have fun." And again, I just complain because I'm not having fun, and he won't get it, right? He doesn't get that fun should apply to everybody, not just him avoiding conflict. But I've never seen, in all the places I've played badminton, and that includes different countries, not just different parts in BC or Canada, is I've never seen somebody devolve the second most played sport in the world as much as this person. So when the city staff that I'm waiting for their grace to give me a discount that I obviously deserve, and you know, their staff have probably never seen him coach, but they've seen me coach people for free. Now, I'm a certified coach, a badminton coach. I've given them my certification. So what if, let's say, they don't approve me for this discount program, which is not a super happy day when they do, because then I have to kind of partake in activities where they have people like this badminton instructor there that ruins it for me. And he doesn't ruin it just by playing or not playing with me. He ruins it by just being satisfied that his needs are being met while the sport is dying around him, and while people are not really playing badminton, right? And if he's a badminton instructor, shouldn't he notice that and help them learn the game? And shouldn't he go not by feelings, but by what the rules of the game are when you're actually playing a game? So if he's the badminton instructor, I gotta say, this is like kindergarten stuff here. So if I ask them after they make their decision whether I'm approved or not, as I say, I take offense. You know, I'm a certified badminton coach. I started my training level 1 in Quebec, did the level 2 stuff in BC, and your staff have seen me coached, and the couple that I often have coached, they started calling me brother. They're happy with me. We don't even share much of the same language. So can you please explain this? And can you, Matt Galloway, explain the concept of me getting into debt to acquire certifications when it's unions and cultures that have devolved it? They've made it meaningless. I don't make it meaningless. They've made certified teacher a meaningless concept. They've made life skills, which is one of the 3 recommendations I have to save our species, is to actually take that training as it really is. And I give the example of Saskatchewan New Start model. And then how badminton is not just about fitness of the body, it also has components of that sport that helps working memory, the RAM, more than 98 other sports. So it's very important that it's done by, let's say, an educated person, not just in badminton, but in the psychology aspects that I bring to the sport. I've empowered people in amazing ways, and providing those references doesn't make that the city won't keep having this person kill the sport because they feel more comfortable with somebody they vibrate with as, you know, a redneck, let's say, right? And I could define redneck as people that are very, very proud of successfully and sometimes imaginatively selling the image of who they are without really doing the work to become learner, empowering people, real life skills coaches, and real badminton coaches. So I live among this species in this time that is accelerating the Anthropocene. So Matt Galloway, if you feel sympathetic to an Homo sapien, do you mind bringing up the topic about what it's like for somebody that doesn't want to give up their human standards because they've worked very, very hard without support of an amazing family or support of this peer or mentor, whatever, that doesn't exist in my life anymore, and usually never did, especially if family-wise, is can you please tell me where the hope is for me, that there's a place for me among either Canadian society or during the Anthropocene that is accelerating by a species that won't look at themselves in the mirror, including most of the status quo conversations that are not being had about very important topics that CBC reporting comes up with.